Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to the 19th Joy of Painting series. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your old paintbrush and spend a relaxing half hour with us each week as we put some of nature's masterpieces on canvas here. And if you've been with us before, let me thank you for inviting me back for another series of painting shows. And I hope we continue to produce shows that you enjoy and that you learn from. So I tell you what, let's get right to it. Let's start out today and hammer on all the colors across the screen that you need to paint this little painting with me. While they're doing that, let me tell you what I've already got going up here. We have our standard old 18 by 24 inch canvas, but you use any size that you want. And we've covered it with a thin, even coat of liquid white, just enough to make it wet. This is a wet on wet painting technique, so the first thing that we normally do is make the canvas wet. So, thought today is such a fantastic day, let's just do a beautiful little, we'll do a little winter scene today, and I'll show you how simple it is to make a painting with a little tiny brush that you can do at home on your first attempt. So let's make a very colorful little scene today. I'm going to take a little Indian yellow. We'll use a little 2-inch brush here, and we just dab a little color onto it, just a very small amount of color. Maybe we'll just start out and we'll just sort of dance a little color in the sky here and there. Sometimes winter scenes can be so cold they're almost displeasing. So I thought we'd do one today that had a lot of very nice little colors in it. Take a little Indian yellow, and I'll mix a little CAD yellow with that too. We'll just mix them together on the brush. So we have both colors on the 2-inch brush. Very little paint, very, very little paint. And we'll just take and we'll dance a little of that in there. The yellow ochre is sort of a gold color, so it'll just change the flavor a little bit. And all we're doing is just dancing a little color here and there, here and there. And just sort of let your imagination take you wherever you want to be and just enjoy. Now then, maybe without cleaning the brush, we'll go into a very small amount of the alizarin crimson. Very, very small amount. There. Now then, maybe here and there, we'll just add a little bit of the alizarin crimson. And this will just give it a little pinkish, warm glow. It'll make your painting sparkle. A little more of the color. And when you're doing your painting, you sort of look around and decide where you want all these little colors to be. And the more you blend them together, the more you'll get a little color that's sort of like peach. It's a nice way of calling it, just a peachy color. There. Okay. Then maybe just a little touch more. And as I say, just let your brush dance around and play and have fun and enjoy. Enjoy. There. And you can take it down to about like so. Anything that we don't like in this painting technique, we just cover it up. We don't do any tracing or drawing or anything like that, though you can if you would like. Some people prefer to trace a scene onto the canvas and then paint on it. And you can do that. The liquid white will allow you to see your painting or your tracing through the liquid white, and you can do that if you would like. There we are. I'm going to put just a touch more of that crimson right there. I want just a little more of this peach color that we have in here. Like so. There. And just blend it together. The more you blend this, the softer it'll become, until it just eventually just blends totally together. And when you're doing this type of painting, just sort of visualize a scene in your mind and let it go. You know, if you can see it here, then you can put it up here. But the first thing is that you need to believe that you can do it. You need to see that vision in your mind. Let's have some fun today. We'll take a little bit of red. I'm going to go right up here into the midnight black. A little bright red, a little midnight black. Very, very small amount of color though. Very small amount of color. And all I'm doing is just tapping the corner of the brush into that. Very, very small amount of color. And I have not cleaned the brush, so it still has the yellows and the crimson on it. There. Maybe we back in our world here, there's some little trees that live far, far away. And we'll just use this 2-inch brush. We got it going. You could do this with your round brush, or you do it with a 1-inch brush. We have this one going, so we'll just use it. Now I want these to be very light because they're far, far away. They live way back in the mist. These are just beautiful little tree shapes that they're back there, but they're very far away. And we'll sort of vary the color. We'll add a little more black, a little more red here and there. There. But think about basic little tree shapes here. Don't just hit at random. Think about how you want your tree to look. See there? But very gentle, almost no color on the canvas. And that's what helps create that illusion of distance and depth in your painting. As things get closer to you in a landscape, they should get darker and darker in color. There, let's go up here to the top corner. Maybe up in here maybe there's a big tree that lives way up here that you just barely can make out. He's a very quiet little tree, very subdued. There. Okay, same color. We'll just use the same old color. A little of the bright red, a little bit of black, just the corner of the brush, but a touch more paint this time. And that way, automatically, it'll become darker. And then we can come right up here. See? And because that's darker, it'll create that illusion that this bush is in front of that bush. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Let me get a little more color. There we are. But you can just build layer after layer after layer here. There. Isn't that fantastic? I thought you'd like that. I'm going to add a little bit of the dark sienna, a little Van Dyke brown into that now. We're getting a little closer, so maybe we're getting into some of these other colors. There. But all we're doing is just tapping with the top corner of the brush and putting in some very basic little shapes. But each layer gets progressively darker. Progressively darker. Maybe over here. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Here lives another happy little bush. And in our world, everything is happy. Everything is peaceful and quiet and gentle, no violence. It's a very nice place to be here. As I say, everything's happy here. If you want to see bad things, watch the news. There we go. There's another little bush. A little more of the bright red in this one, just to sparkle it up some. By varying these colors back and forth, it just makes your painting more interesting. Just more interesting. Now back into a, watch here. If we put a dark color right under that, look at there. See, it creates another layer just by changing the value of the color. And you can put as many layers in your painting as you want. Just sort of let your imagination go and take you wherever you want to be. Because on this piece of canvas, you have absolute and total control. Here, you can do anything that you want. You can create any illusion that you want in this world. Any illusion that you want. And if you put something up here and you want it to be softer, all you have to do is tap it. And it'll blend with the liquid white that's on the canvas. And automatically, it'll become lighter and lighter in value. There's a happy little bush right there, right there. Look at that. Okay, maybe a little more of the Van Dyke brown and dark sienna just mixed together, just to change the flavor a little here and there. Big hair laying there. Just take the corner of your brush and pop it off. All right. We're not careful here, we're going to fill up this whole canvas with bushes. And that's all right. That's a super, super way to learn. Super way to learn. Tell you what, let's put a few little sticks and twigs and some trunks in some of those trees. And we'll use a liner brush for that. Get a little paint thinner. Little paint thinner. And we'll go right into the same color that we made the bushes out of. We'll start with just a little black, a little bit of the red, but not much. Turn that brush. That brings it to a very sharp point. This is a script liner brush, number 2 script liner brush. It has very long bristles and it comes to a very, very sharp point. And it holds a lot of paint, so you can literally make it flow. And we thin the paint till it's like an ink, almost a water-like consistency. And that way it'll flow right over these thicker paints without mixing. And if it mixes, then you'll become a mud mixer and you won't be happy with me. So if you have trouble making it flow, all you need to do is add a little more of the paint thinner. And you can just begin putting in all kinds of little sticks and twigs and things that live way back here in some of these. sort of let it flow. Let your hand just sort of jerk. If you have a little nervous twitch, this is one time that it'll be beneficial to you. It will help you out. There. I have people write sometime and they say that the hand shakes a little and they're having a hard time. This is your thing right here. Enjoy it. Okay, just wherever you think they should live. Just begin dropping in all kinds of little deals, little twigs and sticks. And maybe even here and there, there's some that come right on up here. Maybe this old tree lost all of its foliage. There. But this helps create that illusion of depth and distance in your painting. There we go. There's one. Put a little one in here. Some people will find it's easier to pull down to make these. Others will find that it's easier to go up. Try both ways, and whichever way seems to work the best for you, then that's the right way. The only rule that we have here is that it makes you happy and that you enjoy what you're doing. I want to add a little Van Dyke brown to the color. And as we get down here in these darker things, we need some little branches that are a little darker. Same color with a little Van Dyke brown added to it. There. Maybe, shoot, I tell you what, maybe right here lives, big one. There he goes, up, up, up. That's your bravery test. He's a bigger one. He just stands up here and watches everything that's happening. Enjoys life. There. Maybe he's the old Papa Tree, and these are all of his kids. See there? Okay, good. A few more little doers here and there. Okay. Always a lot of little sticks and twigs out in the woods. So you can just put as many or as few as you want in your world. There, one right there. Now we said this was going to be a winter scene, so we need to begin thinking about some snow in it maybe. There, wash the old brush. And we wash our brushes with just odorless thinner, and I just wipe them on a paper towel. Tell you what, I've got several of each brush going here. Let's take a little touch of that bright red, a little bit of the black. We'll just put a little undercolor. If we're going to have snow here, let's just put in something it'll just end up being shadows basically. Put a little color into here. That'll show through. It'll make your painting a little more interesting. Once again, because you have liquid white on here, this color blends with it, and all these beautiful things will just happen automatically. Now we use a clean brush. It's a clean 2-inch brush, and we'll go right into titanium white. And we just load some color on both sides of the bristles. A little bit of color. Now if you want to put the indication maybe of a little sunshine, be right back. Least little touch of the bright red in there. Least little touch. Tiny, tiny little bit. It'll set your whole world on fire in a heartbeat. Very, very little color. But see, there's quite a bit of paint on the bristles. And you just pull it. Now this is a very thick, firm, dry paint. So you can see how hard I'm pulling the bristles through there. Load your color. Okay, let's go up to the canvas now. Had to make some big decisions. Where's your snow live in this world? Maybe right here. See there? Just pull it and think about the angles that you want in here. Think about shape and form and where you want all these little things to be. Look at there. I'm going to reach up here and get the least little touch of phthalo blue. Least little touch. To put a little cool shadow in there. Blue is an extremely cool color. And this little shadow, it'll make your snow look just a little bit cooler. A little bit. But be very, very sparing with it. A little bit goes a long way. It doesn't take long to cover up your whole world. Now very gently, you can take and pull that and begin blending it together until it's just as smooth as silk. But always pull in the angle. Think about the lay of the land, the way the land's going to flow here. That's most important when you're doing things like this. It creates that shape that you're looking for. There. Now, maybe if you take pure white, and we can make a nice distinct little thing. See how that one stands out? So anytime you want to have one, go back to nice pure color if you want to show it like a hill or a bump in there. All right. Maybe. Tell you what, let's have some fun. Shoot. Sometimes it's nice just to get a little bit crazy. Maybe there's a little water right here. You know me, if you've painted with me before, I'm an absolute fanatic for water. I love water. Absolutely love it. And it's one of the nicest things that happens in this technique. Let's take a little bit of that bright red, a little touch of the black. We'll just mix them together on the brush. Be right back, right back. There we go. A little red, a little black. But mix them on the brush. That way you have a multitude of things happening right on the bristles. You don't have to worry about trying to mix all these colors. See, there's a whole bunch of things happening. Let's go up here. Now, if we want to have water, you need a reflection here. So all you have to do is take your 2-inch brush, or 1-inch, whatever you want to use, decide where your snow ends and your water starts, and begin pulling straight down. It's most important, though, that it comes straight down. See there? Straight down. A little more of the color, a little red, a little black. See? Just make that big decision where it lives and drop it in. You could even add the least little touch of phthalo blue in there, just enough to cool it down a little, here and there. I don't want a lot of blue in there. I want it to reflect what's up above. Here and there you could take a little touch of the, least little touch of the yellow ochre. Don't need to touch that blue though, or you'll end up with green water. And usually that'll disturb you in a winter picture. Now then, with a nice clean brush, we take and come straight across. Right across, and it'll create that illusion of reflections instantly. Instantly, that easy. But it's important that you go straight across with these brush strokes. If you don't, it's going to look like your water's tilted. And we can take our brush that has the white on it, and we can redefine some of these edges here if you want to make them a little more distinct. See there? And you can pull little peninsulas of land out or push them back, whatever you'd like. Now then, we'll take a little touch of the liquid white. We just use the old knife. And we'll add a little bit of the titanium white to it. One of our golden rules in this style of painting, a thin paint will stick to a thick paint. So we're going to start out with a paint here that's a little thinner than what we have on the canvas. Let me wipe the knife off and you can see up close here. I'm just going to take and pull across and get a little tiny roll of paint right on the edge of the knife. Now once again, this is liquid white and titanium white. The liquid white is only to make the titanium white a little thinner. Then we can go right up here and literally just cut in like a little water line, a little bit of snow laying out here in the water. Push firmly, really push firmly. This is where you take out all your frustrations and hostilities and everything. But it cleans up the edge, brings everything together, and gives you that little water line out here. There we go. Isn't that something? And you can do that. You can do that, even if you've never painted before. Now, I'll tell you what, maybe in our world, maybe there's some large trees that live right here. Clean off a little spot to work. We'll take some Van Dyke brown, just pull it out as flat as we can get it, go straight down with a knife, and we'll cut us off a little roll of paint. Sets right out on the edge of the blade. Let's go right up here. Now then, you have to make a big decision. Where does a tree live? You just sort of look, make a determination where you want him in your world. I'll show you a couple of ways here you can make these. We can make them using the knife. We're just using Van Dyke brown. Excuse my arm a second. I'll come over here and do the other side. And all you're doing is putting an undercolor, a base color. All we're doing at this point. Now then, maybe you're in a hurry. Sometimes we do get in a hurry. You could do this same thing. Watch here. Watch here, you take a fan brush, load it full of the same color, and maybe you want another little tree, it lives right there. But this one's a little thicker, and when it dries, it'll feel like it has real bark on it. Maybe there's one right here. Watch here. Maybe this one here got stepped on when it was little, and it's got a little yaha in it. See, a little crook. A little crook. This is a crooked tree right here. And sometimes it's nice just to put some little trees in there that are a little different. Now then, we'll take a little of the titanium white, and once again, we'll pull it out as flat as we can get it and cut off our little roll of paint. And let's go right up here. If our light's coming from the left, maybe in this one, let's touch and just give it a little pull. Little pull. And we can instantly turn these into some very nice little birch trees. Just some happy little birch trees that live out here. And this one here, zoop. Put him right in. Now, I really think I prefer the ones made with a knife because once again, when they dry, they're nice and thick. They actually feel like a real tree. The other ones will be much smoother. This one here that's got the old bend in him. So it's sort of it's a matter of choice. Decide what you want in your world and drop it in. We'll try to show you how to do this. That's all we're going to do. What you do is up to you because painting is as individual as people are. And I never try to get you to copy exactly what we're doing here. I'd really rather teach you a technique and let you do whatever makes you happy. Take a little bit of the paint thinner and a little Van Dyke brown on the liner brush. A lot of color. Let's go right up here. Maybe there's some limbs on these old trees here. There, see? But with this thin paint, it should just flow. And if it doesn't flow, add a little more of the thinner. And you have to make big decisions. Which tree lives in the front, which tree lives in the back. There we are. See, and just put as many or as few limbs in your world as you want. There we go. Maybe there's some on up here, wherever you want them. There. While we're up here, we'll do this one. We don't want him left out. There. And have some come up and across the trunk. Don't have them all just coming out the side. It'll give the impression that big giant came along with a huge razor blade and cut them off and there's no limbs going across, that they're all just on each side. So let them come across. Some go behind. Then it looks natural. There. Study trees. Make friends with them. There's nothing wrong if you're a painter going out in the yard and talking to a tree. You know, people will look at you like you're a little strange, but painters are expected to be a little different. So you do whatever makes you happy. And by talking to a tree or just studying a tree, you don't actually have to go talk to a tree. It helps you understand how the old tree grows. Maybe down here there's a little baby one. See there? Now, I'll just use that same little brush. We can go down here with a little of the white, clean up his little foots so it all comes together. There we are. Now then, maybe over here on the other side. Let's come right down here. Maybe let's have a little doer. It lives right out here. Put out a little bank. Then we need that reflection underneath it. See, put it in and then bring, zoom. Maybe there's another layer right there. That easy. Back to our knife, a little bit of that liquid white that's been added to the titanium white. Come right in there. Little tiny waterline. Maybe there's a different kind of tree on the other side. Shoot, we got a minute or so left here. Let's have some fun. Maybe this old tree lives right here. We'll just use a liner brush. Let's get wiggly. Let's get wiggly here. Maybe this old tree lives right there. A lot of paint thinner though. Maybe he's got a big old arm. And, there it is. It lives right out there. And you can make his tree as big or as small as you want him. Just sort of look at your painting and decide what you think would look good in it. Whatever you think. There we are. Okay, another little limb right here. There. And you can put hundreds of little branches on your tree, or you can just have a few. It's really up to you. Really up to you. There we are. Well, it's hard to believe this is the 19th series, and there's 13 shows in each series. Whew. I have to get my calculator out. That's a bunch of shows. And I certainly thank you for inviting me back for another one of these. There, maybe there's another little stick lives right here, wherever you want them. And there's usually some little weeds and stuff around here. Now then, you want to get crazy? Maybe in our world, maybe it's snowing a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of the liquid white, a little paint thinner, lay the palette down. I need 2 hands here. I want this paint to be very, very thin. And we can take, we'll use a knife, very lightly. You might practice this a couple times before you do it, but just take the brush and flick it. Just like so. Just like so. See there, and you can create the indication that it's snowing, and it softens this whole painting, makes it very, very nice. And you can put as much or as little snow in your world as you want. That easy though. You can create that illusion. Isn't that fantastic? Shoot. I think with that, we just about have a finished painting. Take a little bit of the red on the liner brush, and let's sign this little rascal. I hope you've enjoyed it. This is a very nice painting. If you've never painted before, this is one that you can do, and I think you'll enjoy it. So I tell you what, from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting, and God bless, my friend.